Okay, so this week we're moving on to division with whole numbers and with unit fractions. But before we start that, it's important for students to learn that there's two different types of ways to think about division. One way is called the sharing way, and the other way is called grouping. And so here's the image to kind of help us tell the difference between the two. A story problem, so let's think of 15 divided by 3. A story problem for sharing could be something like Jeff made 15 cookies and divided them equally among his 3 cousins. How many cookies did each cousin get? So what's happening here is that Jeff is sharing his cookies with his 3 cousins. So we start out with 15. So 15 is the number we started with. Okay, so we started out with 15 cookies, and he wanted to share them equally among his 3 cousins. So we have 3 groups. So our 3 in this equation represents our number of groups. And then our 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our 5 represents the number in each group. So in this problem, we know that we have 3 groups, his 3 cousins, and we know that each cousin's going to get 5 cookies. So 5 is the number in each group. So this is a sharing problem. Another type of problem we learn about is called a grouping problem with division. An example of a grouping problem would be Jeff made 15 cookies and he packed them into sacks of 3. How many sacks of cookies was he able to make? So again, this time we start out again with 15. So 15 is still the number we started with. Okay. But now this time we're not sure how many groups we're going to have. We just know that we're going to be putting them into sacks of 3. So 3 this time isn't our number of groups. 3 is the number in each group because we have 3. So we're making stacks of 3 to see how many stacks we'll have all together. So our 5 in the problem, which is still our answer, the 5 represents the number of groups. So for both of them, both of our problems is 15 divided by 3, but in one you think of it as sharing, so it would be 3 groups of 5. And in our grouping problem, you would think of it as putting 3 in each group and then seeing how many groups we'll have all together in the end. And this is going to become important in the next week or so as we're learning about dividing a whole number by a fraction and then a fraction by a whole number.